Hey, what's going on, Libras? Butch here. I'm going to do your December read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. I'm using this really cool deck. I posted about it, but I'm just in awe of it. The Pulp Tarot. It's so unique. I love unique things. I've never even seen this deck before, but it's like those old you know it's like those old magazine covers from way back in the day that you see on the internet, long before my time, but it reminded me of like a simpler time, and I feel like that's what I really enjoy about it. But anyway, um yeah, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what is going on for Libras? December 2023. What message do we have for Libras? All right, Libras. So the first thing that I see, Libras, I feel like I feel like this person is someone you already know, or at least is somebody you're gonna know before, this all transpired, because I feel like it does start in a friendship, but I feel like it was never meant to end there. I feel like there's a lot of really strong feelings between the two of you. Um, it's two people feeling the same way about each other. But I feel like there is some resistance. I do feel like this person is hiding their true feelings from you. Not so much with a hidden agenda. I just feel like they want more from you than what they're getting. But I feel like they're keeping that to themselves. We have the 7 and the 8 of Swords. The 7, we're all about, hiding something, keeping something to ourselves. And I feel like, they're trying to lock that away with that self-imposed prison. I do feel like there's a little bit of defensive energy in this person. It's almost like they feel like they have to defend themselves from you and how they feel. And I feel like the reason why that is, we have the 5 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. So I feel like this person is really overthinking this. And I feel like I feel like this person is very intelligent. I feel like they think more than they should. And in this case, they're thinking way more than they should. They're thinking about the negatives. What's the negatives that can happen to this? What do I stand to lose? They're making a head over heart decision on this. Or they have been thus far. But at the end of the day, they know what they want. It's right there in front of them. You're right there. They know what they want. There's no ignoring that. They're putting in way too much effort into not letting this happen. And it's causing a lot of internal struggle within them. We have the 5 of Wands. That internal struggle, that fighting with yourself, fighting amongst yourself. Sometimes things happen in life that we can't predict. Sometimes things happen in life that catches us off guard. I truly believe that most of the true connections in life are gonna catch us off guard because we're usually not gonna be expecting it. So that's normal. Even though when you're in the moment, it may not feel normal. Um, I mean, this person, like I said, I mean, they can't stop thinking about you. Um, they're constantly fantasizing about being with you. They know what they want, but they still have this, like I said, they're still, I feel like their biggest fear is that you don't feel the same way. And in friendships, that happens a lot. When you're friends with someone and then feelings start to happen, the fear is that it only happened for you. The fear is that if you say something, not only will you get rejected, but you'll lose the friend. And that's why sometimes making that leap from friends to more can be very tricky. But in this case, like I said, I mean, I feel like you both feel this. You both want this. But it's like you're reading off each other. Like you're trying to read too deeply into this. You're overthinking it. You're simplify the situation. Like I said, I mean, I see this person as someone very intelligent. And I feel like there's a very commanding presence in this person. And I feel like sometimes especially with really intelligent people, is they try too hard to make sense of something that doesn't need to be made sense of. They try too hard to rationalize. There's nothing really rational about love. There really isn't. You can fall in love with someone that you never even thought you would find, attractive in that way. You can fall in love with someone that the first time you meet them, you could find them repulsive. They could make a bad first impression. But we start rationalizing love, then we start picking apart everything that matters. I mean, every part of this person wants to reach out and grab you and just hold on to you and never let you go. And I feel like that's kind of the breaking point for this person, is the point when they can't walk away. So the only choice is to step up because they don't want to have any regrets. But like I said, there is a boiling point coming for this person with that Tower card. There's a point where they just can't deny this anymore. And they don't want to have that regret. They don't want to walk away from this and then have that have that in their head for the rest of their life. I mean, a connection like this may only come around, or it doesn't come around very often. So to ignore it is something I feel like you will regret. Something that they will regret. And I feel like because of that knowledge, that Tower moment inside them, they're forgetting about fear. They're not even looking at it. This fearless energy comes over this person, and I feel like they're gonna come to you very to the point. They're not gonna try to. Sometimes when we have those feelings, people come to us and they try to like slow roll it, like they try to hint around to get the feeling of what you're feeling. That's not what's going to happen with this person. This person is finally going to, have that moment of pure fearlessness and just take the leap. And I feel like they're going to be very honest with you about how they feel and what they want. They're not going to leave it up. They're not going to give you some cryptic message. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes people do that. They hint around to things, but they never really say it. This connection is something that I feel like it has you bonded for life. With that Two of Cups, I feel like it's a strong bond that you're going to share with this person. And I feel like the only possible thing that this person can do is nurture the shit out of this. Accept it for what it is. Fighting the inevitable. It's like swimming against the current. You're going to tire yourself out and you're probably going to end up drowning. And in this case, drowning is more of that endless regret. And like I tell people a million times, and I probably said it in a Libra video before, but rejection, getting rejected by someone, especially someone you care about, rejection at any level, in anything, not just love, career, family, anything. Rejection sucks, but it's better than the unknown, because what happens with the unknown is that you have to live with that. Live with the fact that 10, 20, 30 years down the road, you're thinking, what if I just said that? What if I just told them how I felt? Where would I be now? Where are they now? And that's the monster that is regret, that'll live in your head rent free, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it until you do something about it, or unless you do something about it. But like I said, I feel like this moment of clarity is coming for this person, and I feel like when that moment of clarity comes, I feel like they are going to be very honest with you, very direct. No room for misunderstandings. I do see this person making a pretty big romantic gesture, and I feel like that's really going to move this forward. It's going to move it into the place where it was meant to be all along. But like I said, I feel like not only that, but I feel like there's so much unease with this person. And like I said, with that Temperance card, this is something that's going to balance them out. It's going to get them back to where being them. I feel like this has really got them out of their element. Being so. Like I said, they know what they want. That defensive energy, that holding back, that not being honest about how they feel, I feel like that's not something this person is good at. And I feel like they've kind of got them really out of who they are. And making this step forward is the only way they know to get their balance back. Because they can keep ignoring it, but it's going to keep eating away at them. And like I said, I feel like there's a moment when it's like that chaotic tower moment. And that's the thing too. Like a lot of people say tower moment is like they see it in a read, and they always think that, oh, it's such a terrible thing. But sometimes it's not a terrible thing. Sometimes it's what needs to happen in order for us to step up. It's all about perspective. It's all about how it's played out in the read. But with this, like I said, that internal struggle with them is just taking over. They know what they want, and they're not doing what they should about it. And I feel like that tower moment is something that has to happen inside this person for them to get back to that place. Well, like I said, I feel like you both want this. But sometimes when we want someone, we kind of read them. And if they're not giving us any signs, or if they're locking away behind closed doors, like I said, with that self-imposed prison, sometimes it's like, maybe I'm the only one thinking about it. Maybe I'm the only one that wants them. Because I don't feel wanted back. It is a vicious game we play. But with this person, we have Taurus. We have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Sometimes the thing that we want the most is the hardest, because we have the most to lose in that situation. It is hard for somebody to put it all on the line. But I feel like in true connections, no matter how much we try to reject it, no matter how much we try to avoid it or downplay it, it's always going to be there. So you have a choice. You can suffer in silence or open your damn mouth. I don't mean to be harsh. Fight for what you want. And the way I look at it in my perspective, this is my perspective and only my perspective, but this is the way I see it. If you're friends with someone and you catch feelings for them, it and those feelings don't go away, they only increase. You start thinking about this person when you're not around them. You start wondering what they're up to. um, when they're hurt, you want to be there. The first person you want to talk to in the morning, the last person at night. When you have feelings like that, you have to say something. Maybe they don't feel the same way, and if they don't, then maybe maybe that's the closure you need, to realize that this isn't the person. I mean, it's totally possible to be really good friends with someone and think you have romantic feelings, but you can love your friends. I love my friends, but I don't love them that way. I don't want to be in love with them. And sometimes we get that confused. And sometimes, most times, if you open up and they're honest with you in their response, and they tell you how they feel and that they don't feel the same way, and they're being honest about that, that's your sign. And now you know. And you can move forward knowing. But not knowing, that shit'll eat you alive. Maybe, I'm not saying as soon as you think you have feelings for someone, you have to go and tell them. But if you continuously have feelings for that person and the feelings only get increased, the draw only increases, there's a point when it's going to do you harm to not open your mouth. And like I said, sometimes we just misinterpret the feelings that we have for someone. Like I told the story before about this girl that I dated, and we were best friends. We dated for almost a year. We were best friends, and I couldn't... there was something missing, and I always knew there was something missing, but I ignored it because we had such a great connection. But then one day we had this really open and honest talk, which we had a lot of, but this one was a really big one. And I told her that I didn't know. I'm like, I said, I love talking to you. I feel comfortable with you. I feel like I can talk about anything with you. We like a lot of the same things, but there's something missing. And she agreed. So we broke up, and it was hard at first because I really cared about her. It took a couple weeks for us to start talking again, and then in a couple months we were back to being friends. But we didn't, but what that made me realize is sometimes we can make it more than it is. And if we would have had that talk sooner, we would have realized that. But sometimes you just got to go down the road and see where it leads you. But like I said, there was something very different between us that I would have wanted in a partner. And I'm sure there's things that were different with me that she wanted in a partner that she wasn't getting. Now we've kind of drifted away over the years. I check in on her once in a while just to see how she's doing. But, sometimes people just come into your life to play to play a role in your journey. Just like you come into their life to play a role in their journey. Not every journey that you begin with someone is always going to end is going to be an endless journey. Sometimes it's just, they were meant to play, if you think about it as like in a movie, or a book, there would be a side character that comes in and plays a pretty big role for a little bit, but then all of a sudden their role is over and they move on. And it affects the end game. And that's what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to have that part in your book. They were supposed to play that role. They weren't a main character. They were a side character. But doesn't mean they played any less of a role in your life. It just means they weren't meant to play the big role. That wasn't the person you were meant to be with. Anyway, I think I got off topic. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.